Only in Italy and in France can you hear a pin drop during the haka.
And now the Italian team, with so much respect for the haka, are facing off, standing, making their own stand. Just adding to the sense of occasion here in this vote. The players themselves on the sideline want to use the energy of this magnificent crowd, 80,000 strong.
Sitiveni Sivivatu back after a match suspension. And there's some new boys in this All Black team. There'll be some nerves, but I'm sure once that Stuart Dickinson blows the whistle, those nerves will go and they'll be into action. In fact, it will be Mike Delaney who'll get first touch in the game. Yes, the Italian team definitely squaring off on halfway, happy to stand there and stare the All Blacks down for 30 seconds or so, but now everyone in position, and we're about to go for the 10th time between these two nations, the All Blacks against the Azzurri, as Mike Delaney makes the kickoff, and it's lined up and taken down by Mauro Bergamasco for the Italians. Expect to see a lot of kicking early in the game. Tito Tebaldi at halfback, Craig Gower standing out at first five. Tebaldi though will kick himself as Tialata comes at him. And first attempt to take the ball by Ben Smith, and he's put it down, and that's nerves.
A lot of nerves involved in that. Ben Smith, All Black 1,100, but also with the uniqueness about the stadium, it's a white ceiling. Yeah, a lot of the players were complaining yesterday that the ball was getting lost up in the white ceiling with the high kick.
Italians put a lot of emphasis on their scrumming.
Crouch, touch, put.
Early engagement, but
you're both going in.
they'll do it again.
Yeah, just wait and listen. Wait for me. Crouch, touch, port, engage.
Right, Tebaldi gets it in. Nice solid looking scrum, but they've gone down in the front row.
Very experienced Italian front row, doing so much work. 144 caps in the Italian front row.
Crouch, touch, port, engage.
Free kick, taken quickly by Teresa, and the Italian captain takes it out towards centre field. Should come back for Canale. It's going to be slow though, if at all, and in fact they'll have to put another scrum down.
I suspect out here this afternoon, Lisbo, we'll see a lot of this. It's quite a skinny pitch, 66 metres, 4 metres smaller than the IOB regulations. The way the Italians have been training a lot up the middle, they want to engage the All Blacks physically. They want to do a lot of scrums, line-out drives.
Right, so let's try this again. Tialata against Perugini on this near side. Italians have split the back line.
That's fine. Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Much better scrum this time. Tebaldi gets it in. And penalty. Full penalty this time. And he's got Wyatt Crockett on the loose head side for dropping straight down. And that's the call.
Yeah. Like the first one.
He's up against Martin Castro Giovanni, who destroyed the South Africans last week, playing for Leicester up against the box. Very experienced. In fact, he was the Guinness Premiership Player of the Year a couple of years back. Powerful man.
Well, the goal kicker is Craig Gower. Go back to June the 27th in Christchurch, and Luke McLean did the goal kicking for the Italians. But here's Craig Gower, the former Kangaroo, the man who played 23 test matches for the Kangaroos. First opportunity for points. Kicks the early penalty. 3 points to 0.
Exactly how they wanted to start, the Italians. McMillan wants to replicate what they did that night in Christchurch some months back. Field position, engage the All Blacks, look for mistakes.
So Delaney gets us going again, and taken down by blindside flanker Alessandro Zani. And a good feisty start by the Italian forward pack. Tibaldi. Bit of a scuffle off the ball between the two captains, Parese and Sopiano. Now here's Ben Smith. Second opportunity. This time he grabs it. And takes it almost to the halfway line. All Blacks with an opportunity with the ball early on. Now Andy Ellis works it across into centre field. Big defence on Corey Jane. And they really are hoeing into this, but the All Blacks have recycled it nicely. Ellis sends it wide. Here's an opportunity as Corey Flynn stretches the legs. Just on the Italian side of halfway, penalty
On your feet.
to the All Blacks.
On the ground. On your feet, please.
Equally as we saw the Italians trying to slow it down and engage the All Blacks, make it a physical contest. The All Blacks wanted to stretch it, go as wide as they possibly can. The people down the Green Island Rugby Club where Ben Smith grew up and learned his trade. He's so pleased with the young man catching that ball.
Just a word on the conditions for tonight's game, guys. The air is very still, and we've got a bit of fog around. The surface absolutely magnificent, maybe just a touch of dew on it, but what an atmosphere, unbelievable, and the crowd certainly plenty to cheer about in the early stages.
10 minutes past 3 in the afternoon, and as you say, Tony, it's a cloudy old day as Anthony Boric rises high, tidied up by Soialo. Now Ellis as the All Blacks just near the 10-metre line, and here's Flynn again back into the All Blacks. Boys had to be patient. Corey Flynn, he's got advantage here for the All Blacks once again, and a penalty here right out in front. And the question is, the goal kicking, will it be Mike Delaney, will it be Luke McAllister? And it looks as though it may be McAllister stepping up to the mark.
Yes, Corey Flynn's first start in an All Black jersey since 2003. There's a lot of patience there, working hard. Also an indication of the game plan the All Blacks are trying to move, going the same way, stretching the big Italian forwards and moving 3 to 4 metres away from the ruck as opposed to close. See a lot of runners this afternoon, efficient numbers to the breakdown and then trying to move it wide again.
We get him up and straight, and then the contest.
So here's Luke McAllister, first kick. Turns and goes the other way. McAllister, he knows it's straight. And they exchange penalty goals early, and it's 3-all.
So still the conditions here, Tony, not a breath of wind.
No, it's actually very pleasant for rugby. It's not as cold as it's been perhaps in the early part of the week. We've actually had beautiful sunshine towards the end, but this is just nice. Players should enjoy this. Great surface.
Craig Gower then with the restart. Lining this one up is Ellis. Slips the pass off to Smith. And the man on debut. getting some confidence back after that early mistake. Ellis rips it behind him.
Stay still, Black, stay.
And the kick is made by Delaney, fielded by Gower, just on the Italian side of halfway. The first instinct is to kick it. Ellis and Perese, the big number 8, couldn't get it, and Andy Ellis did. And the All Blacks back in possession as So'oialo finds it to Sivivatu. His kick is nicely trapped by Marco Bergamasco and rolling it down towards the All Black line. That's a beautiful kick.
You know, find it tough, the All Blacks, so they're getting the kicking contest with the Italian side. As you mentioned, Isbo, the instinct is to kick initially. Also with Craig Gowan, he's changed the dynamics of the way the Italians attack, standing so much flatter than any other Italian number 10 in the past. And the All Blacks have called a 4-man line-out.
Well, they've got a pretty good line-out, the Italians. 2 big South African locks and Perese. Plenty of options there.
Goes deep. Cuts them, most of them out. Goes all the way down as far as Latimer. Ellis. Back for Delaney, standing deep in his in-goal area, and that's nicely struck by Mike Delaney, and that's a very good clearing kick. Not a lot of room to work in, and he's put it down to within 15 metres of halfway.
It's been a fantastic start for Corey Flynn. First 2 line-out throws have been spot on, accurate. He's been self-involved in the play.
Now it's the Italians' turn. Leonardo Gildini. All Blacks challenging. Tipped awkwardly for Tabaldi. Can't go that way. Fired it back in field, but he's in touch. Flynn has helped him into touch.
We talk about sparking the excitement levels of teams. The All Blacks play a lot of test matches per year when they come to a new venue, a new occasion, something as unique as this, new caps. Guys like Corey Flynn so excited.
Well, I don't know whether he'd be very excited about getting his hair pulled like that. He just about got scalped.
Now Corey Flynn down the back. Nicely done by Liam Messam. Now Delaney looks to take a gap. Closes pretty quickly though. Right in the centre of halfway it comes to Ellis. Across to So'oialo. Can't slip the first tackle though. Good, safe, sure tackling by the Azzurri. But they played with the ball on the ground. Here's Boris trying to get through, but the penalty's been given already. The Italian players all over the ball carrier, playing the ball on the ground, and McAllister will step forward again.
They're all on a fine line around the breakdown area. This well within Luke McAllister's range. We've seen him constantly during the New Zealand Cup, but here yesterday at training, knocking him from 50 to 55 metres in his range. Tony's mentioned about the beautiful surface, absolutely still conditions within inside the ground, not a breath of wind. The All Blacks getting greater numbers to the breakdown, the Italians, therefore winning the penalty.
Surprising number of Kiwis in the crowd here today. They've come from far and wide, and I can tell you that most of them found a way to see the All Whites win this morning. Just fantastic. Now here's Luke McAllister from close on 50 metres and just away. So it stays at 3-all.
Certainly no problem with the distance though. He's striking them pretty well.
Now Gower. McAllister waits for this one. He's got So'oialo with him. This one will land around about the 10-metre line. Up goes Perese again for the second time. Couldn't get it. Could open up here for the All Blacks. The Tialata though has taken a really solid tackle. So it comes to Ellis again. Now McAllister moves it across. Here's an opportunity out wide for Smith. Drops it onto the boot. The race is on here. And getting there first is Mirko Bergamasco. Clever kick by Ben Smith. But the Italian defence just a little quicker.
You can see the All Blacks intent. The width they're trying to play the game with. Ben Smith, his debut, out the right wing, not using his left foot, just trying to keep him infield. That was the intention.
It is going to be hard to play with width though, as you mentioned, Camo. It's a very narrow strip. I don't think there's anything sinister about it. There's just no more grass to play on before you get to AstroTurf.
Now Sivi Vatu puts the high kick in. Corey Jane goes early, but it bounces nicely for Luke McLean, the Italian fullback, the Australian-born fullback. And here is Tom Donnelly now. He's got the Italians for offside. He's going to try and play advantage for as long as possible. And back he goes. Time out. Oh, Andy Ellis wanted to go quickly there. Yep. I think he had the numbers, but referee Dickinson wants to have a yarn with the Italians.
Spoke about offside lines. Yeah, ball was out quite clearly, but 9 blue was in front of the last feet. Then at that breakdown there subsequent, you had players off their feet, just scrambling through. Okay, stay on their feet, stay onside.
Good advice. The Italians just got to start playing with their heads a little bit out there. They're playing with so much heart at the moment. There's so much electricity in the air at the San Siro, so much atmosphere, so much passion is the way the Italians play. At the moment, they're just pushing the laws at every occasion, giving Luke the third opportunity for points.
Well, they're trying to employ the rush defence, and initially it worked very well, but they're just getting a bit too enthusiastic with it, Carmo. Enthusiasm's not a bad thing to have, but on a day like this, I guess you've got to temper it.
It's first for the head, then the heart, they say, Tony.
Yeah, well, we'll get old mate swear first, and we'll be right.
Through it goes from McAllister, so that's 2 out of 3 for him. And the All Blacks have the lead by 6-3 after 14 minutes. Some nice early touches from the new boys so far. Tamati Allison, good draw and pass, good running from Ben Smith after a little hiccup at the start, and Mike Delaney involved as well. Ellis pounding the kick downfield. Again, it's Parise, this impressive captain. First man there is Smith, though. Plenty of black jerseys as they get to him. About 10 out from the 22. It's on the Italian side.
Take a step, Captain.
Garcia has dropped back into the pocket. He may well do the kicking.
Back you go, forward.
Mauro Bergamasco standing over the ball. Now he's the open side flanker, but he has played at halfback for the Italians in the past. And this time it's a penalty to the home team.
The players just hanging around in here. Inside.
Warwick Crockett penalised there, but simplicity's been the key for the All Blacks this week, doing things as simple as they can. The kick-off was superbly done. Anthony Boric, understanding he didn't have to jump and get the ball into the Ellis, who I've got to say has been the #1 trainer for the All Blacks this week, has run around with so much passion, really enjoying his time back in the All Black jersey. Unfortunately gave away the penalty at the end, but good signs.
Bit of an all-star audience today, guys. Jonah Lomu's made the trip over from the south of France. Alessandro Del Piero, one of the great Italian soccer strikers, is here. They're all introduced to the crowd beforehand, just to help to the, or add to the sense of occasion.
Nicely taken down by Parise for the Italians. Now they'll try and make some progress through the middle here. Held in the back by Giraldini as the crowd gets right in behind them. Now it's there for Tabaldi, and bangs it high once again. Smith lining this up and claims it mark easily and sets it on their way straight away. Delaney slips the pass to Sivi Vatu. Again the kick from Sivi Vatu. Scrambling back after this is Tabaldi, the little halfback. He'll have plenty of time to get his clearing kick away, but sliced it just a trifle. And the All Blacks will take the line out, about 10 out from the 22, but again are showing a real willingness to move the ball wide.
And sensing space. Ben Smith, after his early hiccup, feels the last 2 balls that have come his way, and sensing opportunity.
Beautifully done off the top, but not straight.
The Italians have talked a lot during the week about how the South Africans played and attacked the All Blacks during the Tri-Nations, and how they want to replicate that.
Tilala
just getting in the way. Very hard to move a frame like that.
Great to see him playing his second straight game though, guys, and wonderful to see him play the full 80 last week in Cardiff. I know that he was very proud of that, and just goes to show what he can do when he gets regular rugby, regular game time. It makes a better player of him.
Yes, he's been very solid on this trip.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage. Get off there, 6.
Pretty good scrum here.
European rugby.
He slipped his mind, stepped around the corner, and they're driven straight through. Get him in the contest.
Well, the man getting the pats on the head there was the loosehead Salvatore Perugini. 64th cap today. They have got a lot of experience in that front row, and a very highly rated hooker, and Geraldini.
Well, the All Blacks just not holding their binding. That was what Stuart Dickinson was on about, but an encouraging scrum from the Italians.
It's in European rugby, a scrum and a pushover was retired head, but a straight scrum like that adds to the occasion. The boys will be talking about that for the week after.
Right, so Geraldini throws, and here they go. Gower slips the pass to Heldenhuis. One of the two big South Africans playing in the middle row for Azuri. To Baldi for Gower. No way through that gap, and it closed very quickly. Tialata standing in the road. To Baldi again. Now it's with Mauro Bergamasco. Not making any progress here. The All Blacks defence well and truly holding to Baldi. Works blindside. And Stuart Dickinson says it won't come out of there, so let's have a scrum.
The All Blacks making a decision defensively to send limited numbers to the breakdown. So the first tackle has to go down the ground. The ball must be on the ground for that to be effective defensively for the All Blacks, and then they can spread out, keep the discipline of the line.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
So Tabaldi with the entire back line to this near side, including Kane Robertson, the blindside winger.
You've both got heads down and you're both grabbing on the arms. Body, please. Heads up on the body. Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
20 minutes gone in the first half, and the scrums have not been good really in the first quarter of the game. Still swirling around.
It's a wonderful challenge for Wyatt Crocker on the loose head side for the All Blacks, but equally Anthony Boric, who's behind him. So as a unit, as a partnership, and the three people, Liam Messon, Wyatt Crockett, Anthony Boric, need to work in harmony and unison.
Yeah, enough of that. You've got plenty of space, you've got a gap.
The left side of the All Blacks scrum solid.
Looks like a boot problem here for Corey Flynn. Great to see Corey Flynn back, and after all the problems with broken arms, he's been very patient. And his last start back in 2003, he's played the odd test since, but he is very quick to point out that when he made his one and only start, he'd score a try on that occasion.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Right, again it's down.
It's interesting that Tabaldi, the Italian halfback, is quite prepared to wait, and Stu Dickinson's letting him wait at the moment. I can see just now he's had a word with him saying, "On, you've got to put the ball in." I think it's only a matter of time before he gets pinged for delaying the feed.
A little bit of blood around there on the near Tialata. Referee hasn't seen it, I don't think, so play will continue. Now Tabaldi's got to get it in, and well, which is it this time?
Nimi Tialata's binding, once more slipping down. Wyatt Crockett put the hand on the ground. This is troubling signs for the All Blacks. The Italians will try and slow this game down to their pace.
At the same time as the touchdown, that's how we call it as well. Okay, you've got to stay straight and stay in the contest. You're stepping out and around and driving through. Yeah, he is straight.
You know the ones where we're staying up? Some of those ones.
Yeah, it's fine. Ball hasn't gone in. So back you go now. Yeah, you just stay up, stay straight.
Well, he's pretty disappointed, Wyatt Crockett. He doesn't feel as though he's doing too much wrong. And just trying to make his point, whether it's been listened to or not, remains to be seen.
Well, I think that's the tactic of Tibaldi. He's waiting as long as he can in the hope that something penalisable happens. And so far, it's coming off for the Italians.
Yes, well, this is a test arena. And out in the arena, sometimes you've got to make do, change, and adapt as you go. And that's what Wyatt Crockett's going to have to learn for the next 60-odd minutes.
Well, there's a little gathering at the front row. They're just a little group having a chat there. Tialata, Crockett and Corey Flynn. Just having a little yarn about how things, they can improve things. So Gower. No good. So it remains New Zealand 6, Italy 3. The dropout. The captain, Sergio Terese. Beautifully taken down by Ellis. And the All Blacks will have this. Ripped away by Nessel. Here's Corey Jane. Just caught going backwards here. Near the 10-metre line. Ellis looks to dig it out. Awkward for Sivivatu. He did pretty well to hang in there. It's ferocious defence from the Italians.
And they've stolen it too, I think.
Yes, they have. Tibaldi gets it away. Now the little kick. Bounces up nicely for Corey Jane. He in turn hands it off to Donnelly. Now Boric. Tamati Allison looking to open it up. 5 metres on the All Black side of halfway. Snapped up again by Ellis. Finding Jane. They've got numbers. Quick hands from Flynn. Now it's with Sivivatu. Puts the foot down. Looking for an inside pass. Got it beautifully to McAllister. He delivers up to Flynn. Ellis. 15 metres out, looking for quick ball, and this one has gone back and it's offside, I think.
It's just a knock on.
Kane Robertson in a game of his own.
The boy from Auckland Grammar thought he'd scored in front of 80,000 there, and they'll have to come a long way back.
Yes, and I thought Andy Ellis was tackled early then. The time with the tackle underneath the sticks, Corey Flynn offloading Andy Ellis. But alas, everyone rises at one. Initially the turnover.
Well, it was knocked away by Luke McLean.
Play on. Play on. Time out.
Now the hooker has gone down, so that'll stop the scrum being put down. But the All Blacks looking likely there. Just the quick moving of the ball from hand to hand.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the two different styles of the sides, can't you? The Italians trying to keep it a structured game. The All Blacks looking really dangerous in broken play. As we look at Sergio Terese, the Argentine boy, born number 8, of course disgraced himself earlier on this year when he was done for eye gouging. What a fine player he is.
So it's the All Blacks attacking scrum. Got 4 out right, 2 to the left.
Any ball will do.
As we know, the scrums have been under extreme amounts of pressure the last 3 hits. It's just been the All Blacks' mind there to be solid and straight.
Time back on. Straight. Crouch. Yeah, he's right on top. That's right. Hey, do you let him in? Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
Great options available here. Ellis pulls away to this near side. Sotialo finds him. Now it's with Delaney. Tries to stab the kick through. Gets it back. Mike Delaney and throws it nicely to Smith. Here's Sotialo. They're only 10 metres away from the line here, the All Blacks again. Now Ellis. McAllister stepping. Almost got the offload away. Playing advantage once more. Chance here for Allison. Tamati Allison. 5 metres away. And the All Blacks go quick recycle again. Sami Batu gets it across. Corey Flynn. Has he done it again? I suspect he has. They're going to check it upstairs. Now let's have a look.
Look at the wonderful hands from Silvini Savavatu to finish it off through the last pair. Training the...
Okay, try, no try.
Try, no try.
Well, I can't see why not, to be perfectly honest. Corey Flynn, what a story this has been. Just thrilled to be back in the All Blacks. Didn't expect a month ago that he'd be named. But he's got across, no problems here.
I'm waiting for a picture. Stu, can you hear me?
I think the problem is they can't get the end on. Can't get the end on replay.
Well, Corey,
we're going for try, no try.
Corey Flynn just given the chicken wings. He thinks he's scored.
Okay. I need a picture.
Well, the old chicken wings, yes. I asked him about that. That goes way back to his days at Star and Invercargill. He's got a few mates around the world who watch him play. That's his little g'day to them.
3 times, played advantage for offside with guys lazy. Talk to them, please. Fix it.
Stuart, I haven't got a picture at all yet. I need a replay.
Still got no picture.
Build up to that try, though. The great work of Rodney Soyalo, the energy and drive he brings to the break in such an important test match for the All Black skipper. And this is just the end of it. The beautiful hands from Silvini Savavatu. Every part of body of Corey Flynn's body's in play. I don't think it'll take them long, TJ.
Got a picture to me?
This one. Okay, slow. This one. Yeah, stay on. Stay on.
He's on the mobile.
This one.
Tim Hayes of England, by the way, is the man who has to make this call. But from what we saw, shouldn't be a problem.
Yep.
He's talking to on a cell phone in this boat.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it?
That's right.
Thank you, mate. Try. Thank you.
The try's been awarded as we watch this replay.
Yeah, mate, yeah, go.
Once again, it's the width the All Blacks are playing with. Scrum midfield. The wide expanse to the right-hand side here at the Sanseto, and the energy, the drive of the loose boards. Corey Flynn holding up there. The quick hands instead of being Sivabatu to finish it off. And what a wonderful story. What a wonderful story with Corey Flynn.
2 pizzas.
I'm not quite sure what Alan Roland on the sideline didn't see there. Might have saved us all a bit of trouble.
Yep. Right, so here's Luke McAllister. And his conversion is wide. So Corey Flynn has come up with the first try of the test match. As we see a replay, as we often do, of a missed conversion attempt. So 11 points to 3, the All Blacks lead.
Yes, the All Blacks didn't play as much rugby last week at the test match in Millennium Stadium in Wales as they wished. They, for one, realised they've been poor starters in 2009. They've set about this week to rectify that.
Gower. Lining this up is Borich. And the All Blacks getting a lot more ball now. Ellis. Charged. And directly into touch from hooker Geraldini. And so it will be All Black ball. Flynn's going to throw quickly. The lineouts are uncomplicated. Ellis again, charged once more. Now Geraldini puts his boot to it. The race is on, and Delaney has to get back in force, but it's offside against the Italians.
Offside.
They were in front of the man who charged it, and they continued to advance.
Six in front.
You can see why they like this hooker though, Nisbo. Leonardo, that's a good Italian name. Leonardo Gilardini. He's lively and he's a solid unit too.
Yeah, he's lively. All right, he's a former flanker, so he's got pace.
Keep pushing the last feet at Ruck and Moore. That's where they're
Talking
holding
of
on.
Leonardo's Last Supper, Da Vinci's Last Supper, lives in Milan. Rodney Soyalo achieved a long-held ambition to go and visit it this week.
Speaking of Rodney Soyalo, he steps up and takes that line-out ball. Ball slipped to Tialata. Just couldn't get the pass back inside in time.
Yeah, that's the brilliance too. I guess the opportunity is of Liam Messam just flicking there, saw and sensed an opportunity. It's not the way they've been training there, the All Blacks. It's not the way they've initiated this game, going to the width of the open expanses. The fringe defence of this big Italian pack is very, very good. The spaces are further out.
Taken down by Del Fava this time, but this one's not straight.
Would you like, Captain?
We've come a long way in many areas of the All Black game in 2009, haven't we, Nisbo? This is one of them. Contesting the line out, just Anthony Boric getting up in the air, puts pressure on the opposition thrower. Villadini there. That's right.
Now Ellis. Off it goes to Delaney. Not taken by Ellison. Coming back on the cut.
Boy, there was a gap there.
We talk about simplicity, watching the training, and of course the rotation of the coaches as well. Steve Hansen taking the back. The simplicity of the back moves at training during the week has been a sight to behold. Running straight with a lot of short ball, backing up, and just accuracy.
No, that'll do. Don't go too far. That's fine. There it is. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Tabaldi. Another swirling scrum.
Yeah, he's speed of gone. His speed of gone. Nothing he can do about it.
Scrum. Where's that? What did you just say?
Yeah, 3 feet of gone. Slipped out. Off the arm. Off his arm. Gone blind on the body.
So Tito Tabaldi, his first season in the Italian jumper.
Behind it, 9 black.
No great haste to free the ball from the scrum. Terese. Tabaldi being knocked down by an All Black and knocked on. So play advantage here.
From the lost forward. Stay back.
Tabaldi looking to see who's going to kick it next.
Advantage.
That's pretty much what it amounts to. It's going to be Gower.
Advantage over.
Again, high goes Sivivatu waits. He's inside his 22 and unchallenged. And he takes it smartly. The All Blacks figure they can run it out, but it's booted away downfield by Ellison. Now it's McLean.
Amount of 10.
And the Italians quite happy to exchange kicks. Jane to Sivivatu.
Just wait there. Go now.
Terese hoping this will go over the line and he'll get his wish. Sivivatu chasing hard, but back to the 22 we go.
Covers a lot of ground. Sergio Terese, the skipper, very unconventional as the number 8, very good athlete. A lot of drop goals at training yesterday. He does a lot for Stade Francais, the French side he skippers.
Next one.
Yes, well, he's landed a drop goal in Test rugby. Now the captain of the All Blacks, Rodney Soyalo. Kick and chase. It's not his strong point though. Coming down almost offside, but Garcia managed to recover.
General play.
And the Italians right on halfway. Nice low driving forward play.
Respect 3.
Tabaldi works it off to Gower. Running ball this time. Good opportunity for Kane Robertson. Slipped under the tackle and burst out of another 2. Good running by the Italians, and the arm goes out again.
Don't put yourself there. Don't put yourself there.
It's against Tialata.
Yeah, unfortunately just couldn't roll away. Nimi Tialata, White Crockett also coming in. And over the All Blacks at the moment just not getting the hand on the ball, the breakdown, not being able to slow it down to readjust their defensive line. The 2 prop forwards making the tackle. So it's an area we want Liam Messam to get involved in. Tanara Latimer, Rodney Soyalo. All Black forwards just getting their hands on the ball. This will be a line-out drive, Mismo.
No kick at goal. Big call by the Italians. They figure they can do something from here.
Stefano, if you can just do a time check for me too at some stage. Time back on.
Taken down nicely by Del Fava. Held in the back by Mauro Bergamasco.
Use it now, Hart.
Parise being told to use it.
Use it, Hart.
But now there's a bit of progress again. Well, they were told. It looked good, but in the end, Stuart Dickinson has given the scrum to the All Blacks.
The All Blacks have been expecting that. They knew the line-out drive was coming from the Italians. They stood up. They manned up. They'll be saying in that All Black changing rooms. That is a huge boost for this young, inexperienced All Black forward pack.
In the middle. In the middle. Yep.
Now, White Crockett's turn. It's a scrum. White Crockett, Borich.
Touch, pause, engage. Behind it, Ryan.
So Yellow to take it out of the back. The Italians very close to offside. In fact, they've stolen the ball away, and that's been knocked forward. Real opportunity as Craig Gow has shelled it.
Straight down, sir. They don't want to scrum.
Yeah, that's enough. Let's just get on with the game.
Talk about opportunities, don't we, Tony?
I don't know whether you heard that, Carmo, but the hooker just said, the Italian hooker just said to Stu Dickinson, they're taking it down, they don't want to scrum.
That wasn't a bad scrum. Delaney hits it hard away downfield. McLean for the Azzurri. Now the kick and the chase from Mirko Bergamasco. Ben Smith. In fact, it was Corey Jane as he opens it up. Now he slips it to Smith as the All Blacks 10 out from the 22. Ellis away for Tanara Latimer. This is where the All Blacks are at their best in this game, when it just opens up a little and they can go either way. Ellis now works it back to this near side. Delaney drops the kick in, waiting for the bouncers. Canali gets a good one in his 50th Test match. And this one will drop into no man's land. Sivi Batu. And a kick from Sivi Batu. Crowd not happy after Canali went down in a heap. Now McLean. And that's partially charged. Now everybody's onside here. Away goes Andy Ellis. Ball drops back from Messam. Tialata delayed the pass, taken by Heldon Hayes. As the All Blacks, this long sequence of play continues. Ellis again comes for Sivi Batu. Stepping, but taken by Castro Giovanni. And the ball is there on the All Black side. Liam Messam slips the pass for Borich. Anthony Borich, another player back in the All Blacks. And that'll be a penalty.
13 first off. 13 move.
Better ball retention of the All Blacks. Silvini's eyes lit up when he saw the big tight head top.
Just lay there, played the ball.
Castro Giovanni there unfortunately slipped over. The opportunity didn't go his way, but Luke McAllis will line up another shot at goal.
Shot for goal, is it? I'm not sure. What's the time up there? 37 on the clock, boys. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to play.
A couple of minutes remaining in the first half.
Shot for goal.
And Luke McAllister to line this up.
I got three people talking at once.
McAllister's getting a bit of whistling here.
Two.
There was a time gone by when Diego Dominguez was playing for Italy and all they ever had to cheer about were kicks at goal.
This is a patient All Black side. They'll take what they've done the last 2 minutes into the half. They'll talk about the opportunities if they create mismatches. They just need to retain the ball, keep the discipline and structure.
McAllister's kick is down the centre, and the lead is now 14 points to 6. Couple of minutes out, 14 points to 3. Couple of minutes out till half-time.
Yeah, wonderful passage of play for the All Blacks. The intentions there for them. Just thinks that time they need to play some structure against a very structured Italian team.
Gow's kick might have overcooked this, yeah, well and truly. So the All Blacks, Liam Messam thinks about one option, which is to throw it in at halfway, but I suspect Rodney Soialo will go back and take the scrum in the centre of halfway. So a good opportunity to finish the first half on a high note.
Yeah, and this is shouting out for an All Black set move too. We haven't seen too many basic structured lines, short balls. They're stacked up 4-2, 4 moving out to the left with Delaney.
Good solid scrum, Soialo, but Ellis, well read by Mauro Bergamasco. The All Blacks going back, so Anthony Borich gets his hands on it and driven hard in the tackle.
Captain!
Now Tialata butting heads, and then he got a nice pass off to Flynn. Good strong run by Corey Flynn, the only try scorer in the game so far. Just on the All Black side of halfway, Ellis goes flat or very flat to Soialo. And now the turnover ball for Gow to kick. Why would you? Why would you kick? As Corey Jane turns and hoofs it away into touch. And that is half-time. Even more reason not to kick, but the Italians have done plenty of it in the first half, and the All Blacks will take a lead of 14 points to 3 to the break.
Well, it started out as a great occasion, hasn't let out for the 40 minutes. Sergio Police, the skipper on skipper there, he has not let Rodney Luciano breathe out there, but we see the structured play of the Italians. The All Blacks knew the way they're going to play. They had to take the sting out of the crowd. They failed to do that in the first 40 minutes, but they opened it up. The last 5 showed the way forward. We remember back to last week at the Millennium Stadium, the opening 20 minutes of the second half. I expect the fireworks to continue for the All Blacks then.
Corey Flynn scored the only try of the match so far. Luke McAllister has added 3 penalty goals to 1 by Craig Gow for the Italians. 14-3 at San Siro. Welcome back to Milan, and these are the scenes in a downtown bar in Milan this morning, occupied by, I would say, 100% Kiwis. As the final whistle blew at the Westpac Stadium in Wellington, and the replica World Cup went up, and we have the All Whites represented here today with that banner. Just a fantastic sporting achievement. And let's have a look at score and scorers from the first 40 minutes here at San Siro. The only try scored by Corey Flynn, 3 penalty goals by Luke McAllister to 1 by Craig Gower for the Italians. So 14 points to 3 as we relive the try scored by the All Blacks. And it came after a sustained period on attack. Nice little kick made through there by Mike Delaney. The All Blacks were moving the ball from one side to the other. It's been a fairly defensive display so far by the Italians. McAllister almost got his way through. Then Tamati Allison had a crack at the defence. Looked as though he might go through. Then quick recycle of the ball. Ellis got there quickly. Looked for Sivivatu and Corey Flynn out on the left wing side. They had to go to the TMO, but there was no real need to. And Corey Flynn manages to grab his second test try, and that was the only time the ball was dotted over the line in the first half. So 14 points to 3 at the break as we have a look at the stats.
Yeah, there's a half dominated statistically by the Italians. They were after the territory and possession as well, but also shows the indication of the game plan of both of the sides. If we take a look at the breakdown stats in particular, 35 breakdowns the All Blacks, so multiple phases the All Blacks are trying to do. The All Blacks take the Italians into contact. The Italians, when they have the ball in the possession, which they've had a wealth of, it's putting boot to ball. And the big area concern that we've seen in the first 40 minutes of this game is the scrum of the All Blacks. This is a very experienced Italian front row, 144 caps to our 46. And they're putting a whole lot of bother on Wyatt Crockett on the loose head side.
So plenty to look forward to in the second 40 minutes. Players should be back shortly. Meantime, the All Blacks lead by 14 points to 3.
Welcome back to San Siro Stadium in Milan, where the All Blacks lead Italy at half-time by 14 points to 3. Just the one try scored by Corey Flynn. With me, former Wellingtonian and a man who played 56 times for Italy on the side of the scrum, Aaron Persico. And Aaron, I imagine Italy will be very happy with how their set piece, particularly their scrum, is going.
Yeah, that's right. I think they've had a pretty good idea of what they wanted to play, keeping it pretty tight with the forwards and just playing to their strengths with the scrum and line out.
Putting a lot of pressure on at scrum time. They're a couple of wily campaigners, aren't they?
Yeah, they've got, as you said before, a lot of experience in the front row. So they're just going to play to their strengths, keeping the ball back at the number 8's feet, or just trying to delay the feet, just trying to milk a penalty and play down there and get another 3 points.
Bit disappointing to see Craig Gower kicking the ball away in an attacking situation. And I suppose it's, just all depends on what Nick Mallett tells them. Are they going to try and attack the All Blacks, or are they just going to try and keep the score down?
Yeah, it would be nice if the Italians have a go and try and use some of their outside backs, but it's a shame that they are putting the kicks up in their own opposition's half. But I think at the end of the day, the Italians try and get the ball going forward and then try and get good quick balls so they can try and give the outside backs a go.
And what about the All Blacks? What have you made of them so far?
They've had a couple of opportunities, but I think in the last 20 minutes they'll open up the game and try and get a couple of boys off the bench and just try and run the Italians around a bit more.
I'm sure the crowd would love it if they did open up. They seem to be very respectful of this All Black side.
Oh, it's been a fantastic atmosphere, and the whole week building up to this game, they've got a lot of respect for the New Zealand team, so let's hope that the second half could be a lot better.
Well, as you can see, the teams, the reserves warming up behind us. Teams about to come back out onto the field as we head upstairs, and our commentator Grant Nisbet.
Thank you, Tony. Well, on June the 27th at the AMI Stadium this year, New Zealand 27, Italy 6, half-time 13-3, so it's very similar. But when you look at the All Black team that played on that occasion a couple of months ago, there are only 3 remaining from the starting lineup: Luke McAllister, Tanarau Latimer and Wyatt Crockett, who was on debut. So it shows you how much change there has been in the New Zealand team. In fact, the 3 try scorers on that night are not on this tour: Joe Rokafoko, Isaac Ross and George Whitelock. Luke McAllister kicked the goals for the All Blacks on that night, and Luke McLean kicked the goals for the Italians. But so far the kicking tonight has been done by Craig Gower. So the players coming back onto the field. The All Blacks will be keen to get the ball in hand. The Italians, it seems, Carmo, are happy to kick it and hope the All Blacks make mistakes.
Well, the Italian team and Nick Mallett in particular took so much heart out of that game you just talked about in Christchurch a few months ago in Lisbon. They wanted to play a similar style out here today. The All Blacks were expecting that. They know it's going to be a big set-phase battle out there. Boy, they're really copping it at scrum time. The All Blacks will try and play with the width that they intended. But even against a structured side like the Italians, at some stage during the game, you need to play with structure as well. They need to get their territory and possession stat up, and from that they can start dominating this match.
Looking round, no changes as the kickoff is made by Luke McLean, taken down by Eddie Ellis, and the Canterbury halfback sends it away downfield again. Parise, the captain, hands it off to McLean. And this time he just drills it down the field. Rather an aimless kick, this one. Nicely taken down by Mike Delaney. You'd have to be happy with his debut so far. The kick and chase from Delaney. Parise again. This time he decides to run. Delaney makes a copybook tackle. And they're just on the Italian side of halfway. And the All Blacks have arrived in numbers and got the penalty. Full marks to Mike Delaney.
Number 4.
Not only did he make the kick, he chased and made the tackle.
And an immediate change at the breakdown for the All Blacks too, getting hands on the ball, getting over as well. Sergio Parise involved in so much of the action for the Italians, the skipper. We didn't see a lot of this in the first opening 40 minutes.
We saw a lot of it in training this week though, Carmo. Definitely the accent on going around the ankles, putting the guy on the ground, and then the second player coming in targeting nothing but ball, and on that occasion it just worked to a treat. It was Corey Flynn, the man who came in behind that great tackle by Delaney.
Yes, on so many occasions this year you've got to take your head off to the All Black coaching staff, the way they can change and identify the game plan that needs to be played in the opening minutes of the second half. And the players, well, they respond.
Okay.
McAllister from close on 50 metres. It's away to the right. So disappointment for Luke McAllister. So it remains 14 points to 3 early in the second half.
Yeah, is that you, Timmy, is it? Yeah, mate, got you all that and clear.
Tabaldi throws it away for McLean to do the restart. Fielded by Smith. Delaney hands it across to Jane. Parise waits again. They're charging up on him. Had to wait till he landed, and Smith got there first. But the All Blacks, they might have walked over the top of this again. That's twice in a row. Ellis gives it off to McAllister, spots the gap. 22-metre line, and Ellis almost overruns it. And they have to go back and recover. Kick is made. Tialata's up there challenging. And the ball is with the Italians. Parise looking for Gow, standing deep inside the 22. They have to pass it back, so he won't be able to kick this out directly. Down as far as Sivivatu. Plenty of space here for the All Blacks to launch their counter-attack. They go wide. Now Liam Messon flicks it to Ben Smith. Smith holding at bay. Got the pass off nicely. And they're up to the 22-metre line. Swirling around. Latimer's got it. And hello.
Advantage being played, and there's both Sergio Garcia. Gonzalo Garcia, in fact, late tackle on Liam Messon.
Reaching for the pocket.
Ball is clearly gone, the player's got it, and you've picked him up and you've dropped him. Just dangerous play.
So on his way, Gonzalo Garcia, Argentinian born player. And they're going to play with 14 now for the next 10 minutes.
Yes, we missed the shot. He gets back on the 10-metre line.
I've got it upset.
You see Liam Messon coming in, trying to square out the deal, which he didn't have to do.
Shot for goal.
Liam Messon running wide too. Something else he's been doing a lot of training, involved in a lot of backline moves when they're doing short lineouts. The All Blacks trying to get the skills and the speed of Liam Messon involved.
Guys, just a slight change in the conditions as we head into the second half. Don't want to alarm anyone with memories of a certain Super 14 final. Starting to get very misty in the stadium.
Well, if it was to rain here, the only people in the stadium would get wet are the players.
And me.
And you. Kick from McAllister is good. So the penalty goal by Luke McAllister. 17 points to 3. And the Italians down to 14 for the next 10 minutes.
There's 6 in the back line, up against the All Black back line with an intent to attack and look for the gaps. Cody Ellison now getting himself heavily involved in the next 10 minutes of play. Just to the right there we saw off camera the instant.
Kick-off is made down as far as Ellis. And Andy Ellis with plenty of time gets his kick away. Parise takes it and immediately restarts play for Gower. Another kick. Parise is going to be the man chasing up after this. Lined up and nicely taken. And that's a crazy charge on Mike Delaney. And what's happened here? He didn't kick it.
Well, I think the head was still rattling from the late knock he got from the Parise, the skipper of the Italians.
So this ain't the promoted now. Don't bad him, just do what you're doing. Just play. Yeah, just play. Yeah.
So Luke McAllister has landed 4 penalty goals, which by my reckoning is the most by an All Black against Italy. Brown Fox, Tony Brown, previously at 3. But of course in recent years the All Blacks haven't bothered too much with penalties, they've rather gone for the tries.
Yes, they're very worthy opponents now, aren't they? They've been, what, 10 years in the Six Nations now, the Italians. They're playing as many Southern Hemisphere teams as they possibly can. And great for their rugby.
Tito Tabaldi, don't forget they're one down in the back, so we're not likely to see any scintillating back movement. Still putting some pressure on up front. It's a very macho stuff, isn't it? You stand up, thrust the chest out and say, take that.
Well, we're going to get a good look now. Martin Castro Giovanni on the second 40 minutes. The tight head prop, the lesser tight head prop. We talked about how good he is in the Guinness Premiership.
Well, you can see there that Wyatt Crockett unable to exert any power in that scrum. He got twisted round.
It's a very good scrum, there's no doubt about it. Parise again. Swirling about, and Parise's got a hold of it. They're only 6 or 7 metres out. Here's Craig Gow. Turns the ball back on the outside to Canale. Can't quite get there. As the All Black wave hits him. Now, can they get it back? They can't.
Oh, Andy Ellis, take a bow.
Yes, he stole my words, TJ. Fantastic work from the little scrum half. And the tackle that needed to be made, Andy Ellis is there to make it.
And now he's going to take a lot of them on.
Well, he's a tough little rooster. He's the bloke that was playing, I think it was Super 14 with 2 or 3 broken ribs. Just kept wanting to play.
Use it or lose it.
Brilliant defence in the end.
The Italians complaining that they felt they had go forward and should have got the scrum feed, but of course it was held up because of the determination of Andy Ellis, and so it's a turnover. So the All Blacks will have to put a good scrum together here.
He's not out of the woods yet. Canale, a big man too.
Not a bad scrum, so Arlo takes it out of the back. Whips it away, Delaney deep in his in-goal area, and into touch it goes near the 22, so crisis averted for the moment anyway.
We have John Arfoa sitting on the All Black bench, but I'd rather think White Crockett should stay out there on the loose head side, really learn, have the knuckle down, adapt out there to anything that the Italians throw at them. This is a great learning ground for our young front row.
Geraldini to throw. Nicely taken by Heldenhuis, Quinton Heldenhuis. Nothing subtle about the way the Italians play the game. Controlling it.
Use it, Hart! Use it!
Bergamasco has it. Now they get going again. Not happy with Stuart Dickinson. They were still moving.
Well, I think in fact it's a little like a truck and trailer nearly. The ball at the back.
Well, he's saying they were moving sideways, not forward, Carmo. The Italians might have other ideas.
Well, pretty tough, I think.
Yeah.
But 3 or 4 times the Italians have driven to the line. On each occasion, this young All Black pack has stood up and resisted the advances. They're getting low. Look at the body height of Corey Flynn there, driving down and up and stopping them, trying to get the Italians to raise up. The higher you are, of course, the less power you have going through. very much about body height, but with this one man down, the All Blacks haven't touched the ball yet to make advantage of the six-man Italian backline.
There's Castro Giovanni, the man from Leicester, 60th test match, missed the test in Christchurch back in June, but obviously a powerhouse on the tight head side of the scrum.
Well, he had a fantastic game for Leicester when they beat a Springbok team whose scrum appears to be falling apart at the seams. Well, he had a fantastic game for Leicester when they beat a Springbok team whose scrum appears to be falling apart at the seams.
Soialo hands it back to Ellis. McLean waiting, 10-metre line in Italian territory. Smith gets to him, and the kick and chase, the inevitable kick and chase, lined up by Delaney, sets it off to Corey Jane, sees some opportunities out wide and delivers the pass to McAllister. McAllister gives it back, tried to give it back to Delaney. In the end it was with Tamati Allison. Nice hands here from Delaney, and racing onto this is Ben Smith, waiting for a good bounce. Now can he get the pass off? 10-metre line, or 10 metres away, as the All Blacks hit it hard. Ellis driven back by Parise. What good defence from the Italian skipper. It was knocked on though, so it's going to be an All Black scrum, but that could have been a try under advantage for sure.
Well, he appeared to ghost out there, Ben Smith. No one saw him way out on the right flank. No one, that is, except for Mike Delaney. There's an awkward bounce. He had to check himself, and Zani, the blindside flank for the Italians, making a wonderful try-saving tackle. And then once again, their skipper, Sergio Parise, bundling the All Black player out.
Still in the sin bin, Gonzalo Garcia, rolled in by Ellis. Now Delaney. Delaney has a crack at the defence, right out in centre field, only 7 or 8 metres short of the line. Ellis waits. Now it's up for Donnelly.
Runaway 6!
And Tom Donnelly takes it into contact. Now Ellis again for Tanarau Latimer, as the All Blacks really threatening here.
Don't touch him!
Ball has been lost though, and kicked away downfield by Tabaldi.
Yes, the All Blacks pattern going the same way, was working their retreat. Andy Ellis getting to the breakdown, offloading to the next advancing All Black, but unfortunately with the line begging just metres away, he decided to change plan, and Liam Messam it was, trying to go through the heart of this Italian D. It's a lesson.
So Corey Flynn goes deep to Donnelly. Now Ellis for Delaney into centre field. Messam has a second shot at it, but he held on to it okay. And it's there again for Ellis. Delaney driven across in the tackle by Heldenhuis. But it's good clean ball again for the All Blacks. Ellis off to Borich. And the big North Harbour man takes it to the 22-metre line. Ellis again ducks under, or tries to duck under a tackle. Ball is there. Flynn tries to get it back. That Italian player is offside, surely.
Let it go, Black 6!
Gee whiz, that's a break, I think. The Italian player looked to be standing in an offside position, and Craig Gow has cleared it away safely into touch around about the 10-metre line.
Well, that man once again who effected the turnover and knocked the ball through, Sergio Parise, once more. He came down to New Zealand in the June with huge reputation up here. He didn't really deliver, in my opinion. Well, he is in bucket loads tonight. He really is, being everywhere with them. An athletic, somewhat unconventional number 8. He likes to get himself heavily involved in the play. And his teammates, well, they are following the skipper at this stage.
Doing pretty well with only 14 men, though, the Italians.
Yes, they're holding in there. Donnelly takes it off the top again. Now Delaney takes it to the line. Hit hard by Bergamasco. Ball is there again. Now Tialata.
Run away, Blue!
Looking to recycle this quickly. Ellis. Ball knocked back. And then the All Blacks don't release it, just to compound the problem.
No, not enough numbers off their feet at the breakdown. Castro Giovanni coming through. But Tony, this is, as we talk about often, a very patient All Black side. They will know they don't have to score in the 10 minutes. Garcia's off, Canali's off, sorry. They just know the work they do here will wear them down physically and mentally, and maybe they can exploit later on in the match.
Stay with your number
Well,
3.
Italy are achieving what they set out to do. They're keeping the score respectable at this stage. Just love to see them when they get the ball have a crack and see what they can do on attack. In that regard, Gao has been very disappointing.
Geraldini. Oh, threw it straight at Tialata. Gratefully accepted by the All Blacks. Now here's Wyatt Crockett with the ball in hand. Lays it for Ellis. Now Delaney. The chasers are coming. Luke McLean waits. Sivi Vatu had to wait for him. Then tried to turn him on the All Black side.
Back on your feet, Black. Out of the way, 11.
There it is for Tabaldi. And he bangs it into touch. Crowd rather likes it, but it doesn't really achieve too much.
Yes, from the Italians' point of view, TJ, you often got a sense when you can have a go at not, and let's hope they don't decide that when it's too little too late, and they have the score respectable, but they attack the last 5 minutes. They've got so much time on their hands.
Tom Donnelly's been a towering force in the line-out as the kick comes down to Robertson. Goes across field, but it's going to fall right into the arms of Corey Jane. And now the fullback looks to counter-attack, puts the little kick in, but Bergamasco lines it up. Dumped. Down he went in the tackle of Smith, who's slow ball for Tabaldi. Gow standing inside the 22, but I think Tabaldi will do the kick himself this time. All Blacks again line up under the high ball. This time it's Delaney. Delaney has a go. Just on the All Blacks side of halfway. Ellis gets the call from McAllister. Now Sivi Vatu. Corey Flynn standing out wide. Defence swarming all over the All Blacks. Ellis is going to have to dig this out again. Now he goes for Donnelly. Oh, he tried to get the arms through the tackle. Certainly did, but lost control of the ball and threw it forward.
Yes, the All Blacks losing one of the key numbers in rugby of any level of the game, which is territory. 62%, they're losing it to 38. And an Italian team that wants to feed off the All Blacks' mistakes. The Italians are playing in the right area. For a little period of play, we talked about it. I'd like the All Blacks to go to a structured game, win field position, through field position, they can turn that into pressure. You can turn the pressure into points.
Josh Solon for the Italians in number 18, the former Waikato man, and he replaces the big South African lock, Carlo Del Fava. A great moment for Josh Sol to play against the All Blacks, his 39th appearance for Italy.
I think too Tony Garcia is back on, so back to 15.
He is indeed.
Looking a little anxious in the All Black coaching box. 17 points to 3. Maybe it's the quality of performance rather than the scoreline that concerns them.
And Tony, this may be the opportunity for the Italians to attack from this good right-hand scrum. The whole back line's lined out left.
Yes, McLean, the fullback, up in the line, outside the inside centre.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage. Leave it, 7. 7, straight. Yeah, they're under pressure, just straight.
Well, the All Black front row are somewhat dumbfounded by the call from referee Dickinson, claiming they were under pressure and went straight down.
Yes, well, we hurt the All Black front row if they can listen to any Italian. There's about here, the Italian front row, so they don't want to scrum. It's something that Nini Tialata, Wyatt Crockett and Corey Flynn, well, they'll want to front up. Certainly one of the ethoses of the black jersey to front on every given occasion. But Tony, could you imagine these scrums under these pressures? at the stadium he played at last week.
Oh, well, it would be an absolute joke. You wouldn't be able to do it because they were just losing their footing all the time. That was something they've got to sort out about that. I can tell you the stadium today, the surface here, on another ground where they have had problem getting sunlight onto the surface over the years, this is truly a magnificent surface, a magnificent arena.
Looking to land his second penalty goal is Craig Gower, and he does that.
Well, the Italians were very happy with that. They won the field position. They got the scrum that they were after, and through the scrum, managed to put enough pressure on the All Blacks to give themselves a penalty, and from that it's a further 3 points.
Well, while you're looking at the replay of the penalty goal, change at half-back for the All Blacks, and Jimmy Cowan on in jersey number 19, or rather jersey number 20, to replace Andy Ellis, who's had a good game, apart from some of the times where he's been caught around the fringes.
Giraldini, All Blacks challenging and winning it nicely. Brought under control by Messam, but he fires an awful pass. Sivivatu has to go back. And Sivivatu sends it wide for Jane. Turns it back on the inside for Allison. Now it's there for Jimmy Cowan. Boy, the Italians are offside big time. And he's got them too, has Dickinson. Now Delaney goes again. Flicked on, or tried to flick it on. And he's going back for the offside play.
Offside, midfield.
And Jimmy Cowan, probably a bit far here for the goal kickers.
Yes, I credit the Italians with very good defensive line speed, but at no stage during that particular movement did they go behind the hindmost feet at all. So Stuart Dickinson saw it himself. He didn't need the call from the assistant referee. The All Black lineouts had the wobbles the last two throws. They need to settle it down, maybe revert back to the full lineout. That's worked so well for them. Simplicity. Corey Flynn on the mark first, Nimi Tilara there, and then the jumpers can come in and do their thing.
So it looks like that change has been made, TJ.
Yeah, and Stephen Donald has gone into first. And to see who's come off here at the moment, Lisbo.
Yeah, Mike Delaney.
Yeah, it is Delaney, yep.
So Flynn throws. Not a good throw. Being brought under control by Bergamasco. Gets his pass off to Parise. All Black line-out has worked pretty well up to that point. Now Gower makes the kick, as you'd expect him to. And the bounce is not too fast for the Italians, and Corey Jane hooks his kick downfield, and they've gone all the way back. So he made no ground at all, and he didn't take that back inside the 22, did he?
No, he didn't take that back. But Craig Gower very much playing to instructions, I believe, out there. He came with a reputation as an Italian first 5'8", likes to take it to the line, will look to attack and change the way the Italians play the game. But at no stage out there has he really displayed any of that. He's kicked so much.
Okay.
Oh, we've got another change in the Italian front row. Looks like Perugini's coming off. Coming back on. And now it's Castro Giovanni who's going off. So this must be an injury substitution.
I hope he didn't hear you talking about him living in a cave.
Yeah. Just keep your head down, I think.
So play continues. Josh Scholl takes it down for the Italians. Well, they're going to have a crack at scoring a try in this game. All Blacks shut them down.
Last feet, come back to here.
This will be the way they'll try and advance it upfield. The All Blacks will be happy about that because they've taken them back a good 5 metres. Now this is up and off the ground at the moment. If this does not come back, now it will come back though because it's been nicely wrestled away by Giraldini. Now here's another kick from Gower. Goes flat with a kick towards McLean. Beautifully taken, Corey Jane. Aussie rule style.
Well, he read that well. He knew it was coming, Corey Jane. He timed his jump and caught it at the apex to perfection. Hands up, fingers pointing at the ball. We'll remember some of the Tri-Nations matches when the All Blacks took on the South Africans. And we couldn't stop the line-out maul. We are doing that with huge effect this afternoon against the Italians.
I'm with you.
All Black forward pack, we're very proud of the resistance that they've displayed so far.
17 points to 6. The 27 they scored in Christchurch earlier this year was the lowest the All Blacks had scored against Italy. Prior to that, 31 in Leicester back in 1991 at the World Cup. All Blacks win one against the throw. Wasn't a great throw at all. Now here's Stephen Donald, turns it back to Sivi Batu. Forward pass by the look of it.
He's looked for work, sort of in his Batu this afternoon. Many a time he's dropped back and playing two fullbacks, the All Black, expecting the Italians to kick so much. But when he looks for his opportunity and gets himself into work, always looking to spark something after sitting last weekend out.
Another change being made for the Italians. It's on the side of the scrum. Simone Fevaro coming on at 19. Alessandro Zanni coming off.
That was a very good hit by the All Blacks. They'll be very happy with that.
Too far. I'll let Black to come up to you, that's fair enough. Oh, you're right there. You're right there.
About 14 minutes remaining at San Siro in Milan.
Touch, pause, engage.
Scrum fed by Picconi, and it's a penalty to the All Blacks. So Luke McAllister
17 under pressure,
will
straight
try and land his fifth penalty goal of the afternoon.
And strengthened up the All Black front row. John Afoa coming on. Big match for John Afoa in his All Black career. Italia switching. And Luke dead in front. Conditions are perfect. 48 metres out.
Yes, there was some very satisfied noises coming out of that All Black scrum straight after that. But again, Tialata showing his value, versatility. I mean, it's a wonderful thing to have. If you can play both sides of the scrum, you're going to be in the picture somewhere, aren't you?
Well, the current All Black selectors have always been keen on that. Remember, Greg Somerville was always capable of doing that very thing.
Thanks. Thank you. 13 to go. 12 and a half.
So here's McAllister, drills it towards the posts, and it's off those posts. Snapped up by Bergamasco, good tackle by Smith. And also Latimer there to help out. The All Blacks looking for an opportunity. But the Italians have it, and McLean will clear. Not very well, but scrambled into touch. 10 out from the 22.
Yes, Nimi Atialata been troubled by a knee injury for a good chunk of this season. Worked very hard on tour with it, worked very hard on his fitness too.
Yet another change. Fabio Ongaro, we've seen a lot of him before, the veteran coming on in 16, replacing hooker Leonardo Geraldini, who's getting a good ovation from this crowd, and he has been a strong presence in this match.
Now the All Blacks, Muliaina's out there as well, I think for Corey Jane, as Latimer runs a good angle too, takes it almost towards the 22-metre line. Another penalty.
He's a tackler, he never released.
Yes, Grant, we finally got to see the Liam Messon, Tanner Latimer combination, the 1-2 from the loose forwards, from an All Black short line out. Just sort of skill set that the All Black loose forwards can bring to a game of rugby. Rodney Rusialo in tandem there, so 1, 2, 3, loose forwards.
Then he got to his feet. He never released the tackle player.
Well, McAllister's going to have another shot, and he's getting the raspberry from the crowd. There is a little irony in there somewhere, but I guess they've come to see the All Blacks play open, expansive rugby. They just haven't been able to for a number of reasons. I think the Italians, the way they've defended, you could argue that some of their approach has been slightly negative, and maybe some of the mistakes that the All Blacks have made certainly have contributed to it, but there's McAllister just trying to kick them a little bit further clear so they can hopefully finish with a flourish.
from a much handier position this time. Drills it through Luke McAllister. That's 5 penalty goals from him this afternoon, and it's 20 points to 6.
Well, Tony, this is a great occasion for the Italian side. Many of these players would have dreamed of playing on the San Siro. To be out there in a rugby union fixture, well, boy, they have raised another leg.
Luke McLean down as far as Jimmy Cowan. And Cowan's kick bouncing for Sergio Parisse. Puts the little kick and he could recapture. That's beautifully done. He's a skillful player, the big number 8. Gets the pass off. Now they go wide for Mirko Bergamasco. And the Italians have a real opportunity here. Mauling it up to within 5 metres. Corey Flynn has to release. Now Piccone for Gower. Going wide for Canale. McLean. They don't really look the goods on attack. They don't look as though they run the ball very often as the All Blacks come over the top. And are penalised. Tanira Latimer.
Well, initially he was okay coming through the gate, through the middle. But once he's on the other side and past the ball, Tanira Latimer had no right to continue playing it. But so they're not the goods on attack. What a stage for this man to show his skills. Involved so often. And let's say, another line-out drive coming up, Grant. The All Blacks need to get low. They don't have to contest this one. They have to bend the knees and try and push the Italians down towards the sideline.
Well, the crowd in great voice. 80,000 of them. 79.5 would be Italian. Taken down by Hildenhuis. All Blacks though, keeping nice and low as the Italians try and reorganise this ball. The ball comes out and it's in touch.
Back off Black, line out.
So it will be Italian ball again.
Out by you, scrum, line out.
And initiated there by 2 tall men. Boric to start with to get down there. Tom Donnelly got himself through and onto the ball. That was the key. The big arms wrapped around the ball. Ditto again.
So Fabio Ongaro throws. This time Josh Soul. The Italians have it 5 metres away. The drive at the All Black defence by Hildenhuis. On, play on, says the referee. The All Blacks appealing for obstruction. Now Bergamasco reaching in. Crunching defence on him though by Liam Messam. Another scrum. So the pressure continues.
Well, you have to hear what's going on here at the San Siro. This is wonderful play from both sides. The Italians desperate to get some reward. The All Blacks equally desperate to contain them, to hold them out, to keep their line, their proud defensive line, scoreless. Oh, they speak so much about it.
Trapped in the back by Parisse. And the front rows have come up, so it'll be a reset. Scrum doesn't look quite as good without Castro Giovanni.
Sergio Parisse, the skipper, has been involved so much in their play. You just think with a 15-metre right-hand blind, a scrum, a chance to make history, he's going to be involved somehow. Keep an eye on the red boots.
Now, stolen. No. Against Liam Messam.
Your hands come off. alarm on. Offside. 6 binding off. Scrum.
They want another scrum.
He's been good defensively, Liam Mason. Not involved in the open quite as much as we've seen in past times he's played for the All Blacks.
Yeah, but you get a bind first. And you just stay on.
Yes, they penalised him there. Just had a hand on one of the Italian players rather than binding to his own side of the scrum, so they're going to have to do it again.
Another scrum collapse.
Well, that was a great All Black catch. Look at the work of Liam Mason driving in Nemia Tialata. That's the key to this hit that they're trying to get up.
Stay straight, I'll keep him straight.
Nisvo, just in case your Italian wasn't up to it, mate, they've just announced the man of the match, Sergio Parisse.
Oh, right, I was just going to say that, Tony.
Yeah, sorry to steal your thunder.
That's all right, mate.
You do a very good grazia, Nisvo.
Say that again?
You do a very good grazia.
Yeah, I do too. That's about the extent of it, though.
I'm going to go to that gap soon. I've got to go up there. Stand up, there's the mark. Yeah. Stand up, there's the mark. Okay. Right, you're in? No, look there. There you go. Look Dan, look Dan.
So we've been stuck in this part of the park for about the last 3 or 4 minutes.
Touch, pause, engage.
The All Blacks resolute on defence. The Italians equally as determined to get the ball over the try line. And they get a penalty. And it'll be another scrum, I take it. Or maybe it'll be a yellow. Now, what's happening?
Well, it's all happening. The front rows collapse.
They're staying straight, you're under pressure, you're stepping around and driving down. Okay, go straight, you can.
They're just driving around the All Blacks at this stage. Stuart Dickinson wants them to be straight. The All Blacks want to get Nemia Tialata's side up. A big hit on the loose head side.
It was the same thing that Crockett was penalised for early on in the game. You have to be careful here. They could cop up a penalty try if they're not vigilant.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage. Yes, it's a fair of you.
I tell you what though, I know a lot of this crowd have come to see some tries scored by the Flying Wiggers out in the corners, but this is great stuff. This really is great stuff. You have to front up, you have to work hard. You've got to keep your wits about you.
On the body. There it is.
Just an incredible din in this vast arena.
For God's sake. Here's the mark. Stand up. Stand up.
Everybody, it seems, has an opinion in there.
Come across it. Oh, there.
Right, we're set to go again.
Crouch. Touch, pause, engage.
Now Parisse, another penalty. I think this might be a yellow this time.
Heads and shoulders is a straight down. Heads and shoulders is straight down.
Oh, he's getting a send-off too.
So White Crockett come back on, warm the shoulders up and enter the fray. Power on the tight head. Flynn stays at hooker, of course. White Crockett comes on where he started the match for the All Blacks.
Well, you could argue both ways there.
Well, it's Perugini who's getting the pats on the back, and I tell you what, he gave Nemia Tialata, I don't know whether it was an English or Italian, but he gave him a right sending off then.
Well, now, ironically, Wyatt Crockett has to come back on because the All Blacks need a front row prop. So they'll have to lose, presumably, a loose forward.
Yeah, Messam, I think, is coming off.
Well, I'd hasten to think one of the backs, maybe Luke McAllister, someone needs to go on to the blind side of the scrum.
Heads and shoulders hit up.
White Crockett's had a tough time of it just on his own. He's going there with no support.
Touch, pause,
Well,
engage.
this whole sequence is hardly going to win the game. but it's a big psychological boost as the scrum screws and we get another penalty. How much longer? So what was the problem this time? The front row standing up, perhaps?
Pressure's come on. He's just climbed straight up. Stay in. Don't come up. Stay in.
White Crockett penalised on that occasion as the pressure mounted from the Italian front row. He stood up. Needs to stay down.
Nick Mallett looking every inch an Italian with his gesticulations. Parise. That was a better scrum from the All Blacks.
Someone has to do a count, I think. How many scrums have we had in this sequence? It seems to have taken up about 5 minutes.
Enough.
Well, it might just about see the game out.
The All Blacks will not want to concede a try. Very proud of their defensive line, want to keep that intact. They won't mind to scrum. It's part of the game and they live for it and train for it. There's a wonderful hit there by Wyatt Crockett. He stayed down the whole time. His back was straight, his knees were bent.
Boy, Mike Cron's in for a late night, the All Black scrum coach. He'll be sitting in front of that laptop, chewing this over.
And loving it. Anthony Boric, he's the man doing all the work in behind the big North Harbour lock.
So the coach is on their way down. Game is not far away from conclusion. All Blacks are going to win again. Not convincingly. This time the scrum collapses. And it looks like the Italians are only going to concede 20 points. And as I said before, that's the lowest they've ever conceded against the All Blacks. Well, we reckon there have been 11 scrums. If you've got a mice guy, you might be able to go back and count them, if you can be bothered. Right. Parise strangled down by Jimmy Cowan. Ball is loose for Bergamasco. Crowd in an absolute fervour as they think the Italians may get this ball over the line eventually.
Last week, Captain.
Ball sitting up there. Ongaro in number 16. 19 is Simone Favaro. All Blacks equally determined to hold them.
Captain, Black Captain. Take them back. Number 4, take a step.
Defence holds again. They've gone absolutely nowhere. Still on the 5 metre line and another one.
And it'll be another scrum. So the All Blacks need to concentrate here. They do not think the game is finished. 20 points to 6 they lead. But it's concentration. Nick Mallett knows what he needs to do. At some stage, during the next 10 seconds, these boys will be seeing stars.
Luke McAllister, All Black flanker.
Right, ball goes into the scrum. The Italians don't think about the backs. Again, stuck on the 5 metre line. Now they make some progress. Close to the touchline. And the All Blacks will be keen to get them across the touchline. In fact, Jimmy Cowan, I think he's looking closely for it, but the game is over. Staunch defence by the All Blacks. They've held out. The Italians tried desperately in the last 5 minutes to score a try, but the All Blacks were resolute, even with 14 players, and they've won the game here at San Siro in Milan by 20 points to 6.
Well, today the All Blacks come up a worthy opposition in a rugby venue to rival anyone this famous All Black side has played on around the world. The Italian team come out there with a 10 to win field position and win a structured game with a set phase, and they achieved all of that. The All Blacks, well, they wanted to start a lot quicker and they want to maintain the intensity right throughout the 80 minutes. And what we've just seen with the last half a dozen or so scrums on the defensive line shows how proud this All Black side are, A, of attacking, but B, of keeping their line intact. It's been a great occasion, a great victory for the ABs to finish off a good weekend for New Zealand sport.
This has